Good morning, families and friends, staff members, and most importantly, our 8th graders from Team A. During this morning's ceremony, we will celebrate and highlight our resilient 8th graders and give them the recognition they so aptly deserve. Our ceremony will begin with a welcome message from our Galvin Middle School principal, followed by student recognitions for excellence in the classroom, a performance from our 8th grade chamber chorus ensemble, and then the handing out of the student certificates for 8th grade completion. We hope the ceremony is a positive milestone for our 8th grade students and families. Please welcome next to our podium, our principal, Ms. Webb.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, 8th graders. How are you today? Well, it's wonderful to see you all here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to Gather 8 to celebrate the accomplishments of our 8th grade class of 2023, your Wakefield Memorial High School or other high school class of 2027. Let's give them a round of applause. My name is Megan Webb, and I am the very proud principal of the Galvin Middle School. I'm especially proud on a day like today when we get to pause and take a moment to honor all of the hard work, the dedication, and the perseverance that got our graduates here to this ceremony. I know everybody here knows it was not just their hard work that played a major role in their success. It's the work and support of everybody at this ceremony that allowed them to excel. So to all of the parents, the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, neighbors, foster parents, caregivers of all kinds who are here today, your presence is so important to us and to them, and it's an indication of the important role you have played in their lives. I recently had a chance to attend my own child's kindergarten moving on ceremony, which probably seems like yesterday to most of you sitting here today. Maybe not you all, but the families here. It took me away from my Galvin family for a few hours, but I was so grateful to have a moment to appreciate and honor that special moment in her life. For a few minutes, I was able to pause the busyness of the day-to-day life that can, as we all know, make the years fly by. And I was able to appreciate her growth and progress, as well as all of the incredible people who had supported her in reaching that milestone. I invite all of you, no matter what your role, to take a moment to land here. Take a breath and put the many demands of your days aside, even for just a few minutes, to soak up this moment for your kids. I promise you it will be worth it. I invite you to picture your 8th grader when you drop them off for their first day of 5th grade, whether here or in a different school. Maybe you dropped them in the 5th grade plaza barely believing that they were now at the age where they would get themselves to class on their own. Since that time, they have weathered all of the trials and tribulations of adolescence, layered with the challenge of the COVID years. They were asked to completely reinvent what it means to be in school during some of the most formative years of their lives. And here they are today, ready to close the door on their middle school years and become high school students. It's no small feat. So I'd like to take a moment for our families to recognize their children and our 8th graders to appreciate their supporters with a shared round of applause. This 8th grade class showed us what it looks like to re-enter traditional schooling after unrest and disruption, to rebuild relationships with peers, with adults, and to bring back some of our treasured traditions. The disruption of the past 3 years showed us all the importance of community and has also taught us the art of being together, of interacting, and that building friendships and sorting out conflicts is something that needs to be learned and practiced. We've had to relearn how to exist in a community, how to be a class, and how to move forward together, and I'm so proud that you have. Over the past couple of years, special traditions have taken on new importance. In the last couple weeks alone, we've experienced night spots, a trip to Washington, D.C. What was that, 11 hours on the bus? Special. Amazing final dance on Friday night, chaos on the Common last week, and of course this ceremony that we're all gathered for this morning. Each of those special events stands out in our minds because that's the way that we mark special transitions in our lives. But remember that those moments are underscored by 180 days of day-to-day activity, classwork, and interactions that made them possible. Thinking again of my kindergarten daughter, the power of her teacher stands out to me. The love of learning that her teacher built in her over the course of the year will stay with her forever and has set her on the best possible path for her early education. I'm so grateful to that teacher, and I'm certain that each of you, whether you are a family member, a supporter, or a student, can think of at least one adult here at the Galvin who has instilled a similar love of learning in you. I invite you all to think for a moment about that special adult and what they have meant to you. We have a very special ceremony planned for you today. Before I pass the mic back to Mr. Tetrault, my request to you is that you now take the lessons that the Galvin has taught to you to your next steps in high school and beyond. Take the friendships you have built, the challenges you have overcome, and the academic achievements you have realized, and use them to chart a future that is fulfilling to you and beneficial to the world that is so much in need of your care. As a very, very concrete next step, I ask you to think one more time about that adult or adults who you identified earlier, the ones that shaped you as a learner. Take a moment in the next 2 days to thank them, either in person, with a note, or with an email. Your appreciation will mean the world to them, just as their actions and words have supported you. So, as I started by saying, I'm so very proud of you. You've accomplished so much, and there's so much still ahead of you. And Mr. Tetrault, it is my honor to turn the ceremony over to you and present you with this year's graduating class.
Thank you, Ms. Webb. Over the past 4 years, you may have heard us mention our core values. So many of our students have consistently demonstrated our core values of excellence within the classroom. And for a brief moment, zooming online. If a student's day at the Galvin could be represented by an elaborate piece of artwork, our specialist classes would no doubt be the color of that artwork that brings it to life. For this part of our ceremony, we would like to recognize many of the Team A students who have given their all to their specialist subjects day in and day out. We will start with the music department, which is made up of Mr. Riley, Ms. Bowen, Mr. Morell, and Ms. Demento. The countless hours of rehearsals and lessons have clearly paid off, as this 8th grade class has some incredible musicians. Please welcome up to the mic our music department.
Hello everyone. Today's music awards will begin with orchestra. This year's Director's Award for Orchestra goes to a student who's only started on his instrument 2 years ago. He has shown incredible growth in such a short time and always brings an infectious, joyful energy to the classroom with him. His passion and hard work this year has earned him a spot in WHS Honors String Ensemble next year. The Director's Award for Orchestra goes to Dominic Tejada. The Director's Award for Chorus honors outstanding middle school vocal students, their achievements, and their commitment to musical excellence and choral singing. This recipient is a vocalist in the 8th grade chorus and a 2-year member of the GMS Chamber Chorus. Next year, as a freshman, she will be a member of the WHS Treble Choir. Throughout her time at Galvin, she has consistently exhibited responsibility, dedication, preparedness, teachability, and musicality. Her peers consistently look to her as a musical leader in our ensembles. This year's Director's Award for Chorus goes to Melissa Braga. The Director's Award for Band honors outstanding middle school band students, their achievements, and commitment to the band. This person has been a member of both the concert band and jazz band as the baritone saxophone player. In addition, they were a member of the high school Warrior Marching Band and played bass drum in the high school Winter Percussion Ensemble. They have an exceptional work ethic in and out of the band room. They will continue on next year to be a member of the Wakefield Warrior Marching Band and Winter Percussion Ensemble next year at Wakefield High School. This year's recipient is John Fowley. And now for our Outstanding Musician. The Team A Outstanding Musician Award goes to an 8th grade student that has been mastering their instrument inside and outside of the classroom. During his time at Galvin Middle School, the student excelled in concert band, jazz band, and was a member of the high school marching band. He was an exceptional work ethic and sets the tone with his preparation and professionalism. He will continue on next year to be a member of the high school wind ensemble and warrior marching band. The outstanding musician for Team A is Bailey Quinby.
Up next is our amazing art department made up of Mrs. Seveny and Mrs. Whalen. Both of these staff members have inspired creativity and artistic talent in many of our 8th graders, even when some of our students here didn't think they had an eye for art. This was quite evident, though, during our Visual Performing Arts Week when we had a chance to look at some magnificent works of art from our 8th graders. We will now present the 8th grade Visual Arts Award for Team A students.
All right, good morning. Here. Right. This year's Art Awards go to students who care deeply about their artwork and who worked consistently to grow and improve. These students have earned this recognition with their hard work over the last 4 years. It has truly been a pleasure to have them in class. Our first recipient is a talented, self-motivated, hard-working artist. This student was an art club member. She is always working on some creative project or another. Some of her artwork can be seen in the Galvin Learning Commons. Her craftsmanship is exceptional, from her 5th grade shoe drawing to her 8th grade self-portrait, and she continues to grow. I look forward to seeing her work in the future. Congratulations to Erin Callahan. Our next recipient is a creative force in the classroom. He makes each project his own, and I always look forward to seeing how he interprets each assignment. I've enjoyed watching his work evolve and develop over the years. I look forward to seeing what he does in the future. Congratulations to Matthew Morris. Our final recipient is a talented and dedicated artist with a wonderful sense of design. She's a hard worker, a creative presence in the classroom. This artist invests herself in her work, and I'm sure she will continue to do great things in the future. Congratulations to Bryn Hart.
Nice job. Our science, technology, engineering, and math courses, or more commonly called our STEM classes, have had our students learning about the design process through hands-on projects all year long. Engaging projects like the creation of our CO2 race cars, prototypes made by 3D printers, upcycling and creating robotic arms, and coding digital sphero balls are just a snapshot of the units covered this year. We welcome Ms. Palmer and Mrs. Holder, our STEM teachers, to present the excellence and awards for science, technology, engineering, and math.
Good morning, I'm Jennifer Holder, and this is Emily Palmer. We are the two STEM teachers. I'm very proud of these students. These students have an unmistakable passion for the engineering and design world. Our awards winners were methodical, reflective, and sought to improve their growing design skills. They worked fluidly and thoroughly through every problem presented to them, and their solutions openly displayed their knowledge, mental stamina, and desire to improve the world around them. Both myself and Mrs. Palmer are confident that these students will continue to contribute to the ever-evolving world of science, technology, engineering, and just a little bit of math. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors and encourage you to keep asking questions and finding solutions. Congratulations to John Fowley and Caden Zhu.
Some of our biggest changes occurred during the middle school years, and our health department has spent the past 4 years guiding and exploring these changes with our 8th graders. They've completed activities on body systems, group projects on healthy ways to deal with stress or anxiety, and our health teachers have set students up with strategies for healthy alternative habits that can carry into their adulthood. Our health department is made up of Mrs. Tarnas and Mr. Georgette, but presenting the awards for them will be our phys ed teacher, Mrs. Stevenson.
Good morning, everyone. What a day. It's glorious. Congratulations, 8th graders. So proud of all of you. This year's health awards are presented to students who showed a passion and understanding for health. Each student selected was diligent in their work, brought enthusiasm to class, and thrived for a deeper understanding of the health curriculum. These students advocated for the importance of the health topics covered, excelled in class above expectation, and were a pleasure to have in the classroom. We wish them the best, and they will be missed. Congratulations to Brady Thompson and Melissa Braga.
Don't go far. Some of the best memories students talk about are had in the gymnasium and outdoor fields during PE class. Over the past 4 years, students have been able to shift from the younger games and elementary skills to the more advanced gameplay of various team sports and personal lifelong fitness. Our phys ed staff has challenged the students to push themselves to the next step in their personal fitness and athleticism while balancing classes with a stress-free, fun environment. Our phys ed teachers are Ms. Pisano, Mrs. Stevenson, Mr. Valancourt, and Mr. Lawrence. And up next to present the phys ed award, again, is Mrs. Stevenson.
The award for excellence in physical education is given to a student who shows a love of activity, always gives their best effort, and participates with enthusiasm in all class activities. Most importantly, the student always showed a respectful attitude towards their teachers and their classmates. The Physical Education Department is pleased to present this award this year to Wyatt Temus.
Learning a foreign language takes dedication, a growth mindset, and a lot of repetition. Our world language teachers have provided students with engaging opportunities to learn about the Spanish and French cultures while guiding the students through their understanding of the Spanish and French languages. Students have explored these subjects through conversations in class, reading authentic texts written in the target language, and listening to native-speaking audio and video clips as students mastered these language skills. Our world language department is made up of Mrs. DeGray, Mrs. Pacheco, Mrs. Marquis, Mrs. Quigley, and Miss Metcalf. And up next to present the World Language Awards. Oh, is Mrs. Quigley right behind me.
Buenos dias, bonjour, congratulations. This has been a very interesting year, to say the least, and despite all of the additional challenges it has presented, many students have shown incredible hard work and passion for learning a world language. It is always difficult to select just a few students to recognize, but it's even more challenging this year given the perseverance of so many. However, the World Language Department is thrilled to recognize the work of 3 phenomenal individuals. These dynamic students consistently go above and beyond to excel academically, improve their language skills, and expand their cultural knowledge. These students understand that world languages is more than just a class. It is the key to a new way of communicating and connecting with the world. For these reasons, we are proud to present the World Language Award for Spanish to Daphne Mogan and Maria Estrada, and the World Language Award for French to David Vader.
Nice job. All right, we got a special presentation. Next up, we'd like to welcome our talented 8th grade chamber chorus, who will be performing Have It All from the popular musical artist Jason Mraz.
Of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in your being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead from the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you catch your breath, may you catch your breath. May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you keep the chaos in the car of your desk. May you be unfair as a pest. There ain't nothing more you can't learn. Hey, on the next test.
to trigger the change. It's the infinite possible ways to value. I want you to have it. It's gonna go fast, like a flash. You don't need money and love they pass. It's you that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all.
So good. It was awesome. All right. Our next awards will come from the Team A teachers, and they will recognize students that have brought enthusiasm, a positive spirit, and relentless effort day in and day out this year. After their team awards, each teacher from the team will honor students for their excellence in their respected subjects that they teach. This is always a task for the teachers. Let's see if they do it. We'll begin with ELA, then math, followed by science, and then social studies. Without further ado, the Team A teachers.
This year's Team A Spirit Award goes to a student that often makes us laugh out loud. She brings enthusiastic energy with her to class and makes those around her smile and laugh. She is always roaming the halls, saying hello to teachers, lending a helpful hand, and making great jokes. She is very involved in school, joining groups such as Student Council and the Yearbook Club. However, through all her joking, she is also an insightful and kind person, and we are happy to give this year's Team A Spirit Award to Lauren Sinelli.
This year's Most Conscientious Award winner always comes to class ready to work and contribute positively to whatever type of learning activity we're doing on any given day. She works hard to prepare for all assessments and will be sure to ask for any help she might need to be successful. Although she is relatively reserved, she is always willing to raise her hand and join in class discussions with thoughtful contributions. We're very lucky to have had this year's Team A Most Conscientious Award winner in our classes, Marie Estrada.
Morning. This year's Most Consistent Effort Award for Team A goes to someone who has been working hard from the moment he entered our classrooms in September, and whose effort has persisted right through this morning. He's always focused, willing to do whatever needs to be done to get results in class. This student has been a top achiever in all of our classes, a phenomenal writer, a lover of science and math, and a student of civics. He asks questions and pushes to make sure that he knows the answers. He stays after for extra help, helps those around him, and has a genuine thirst for knowledge. We know that as he moves to high school, he'll attack whatever challenges await him with the same level of motivation and drive that he has this year. We're expecting to hear great things about his accomplishments down the road. This year's Most Consistent Effort Award goes to Bailey Quimby.
Now for the Team A Subject Awards. The recipient of this year's Team A ELA Award goes to one of the hardest working students I've ever met. From day one, she put in every effort, took advantage of every opportunity, and was engaged in every lesson. She showed genuine interest in the stories we read, and often I would see her helping her peers go back through the text to find a quote they were looking for. She came prepared to class, participated thoughtfully, asked questions to improve, and impressed me with her dedication. Even when she was done with all her work, she always had a book on hand to read if she had the time, and I have enjoyed hearing her thoughts as she made her way through the Harry Potter series this year. I'm honored to give this year's Team A ELA Award to Madison Bianchini.
This year's Team A Math Award goes to a student who worked incredibly hard. They consistently showed up each day to improve themselves and their mathematical skills. This student was a phenomenal addition to our class and will be very missed. Their dedication and perseverance to mathematics made me proud to be their teacher each and every day. Congratulations to this year's Team A Math Award winner, Shane Cunha.
Good morning, I'm Chris Souza, science teacher on Team A. 8th grade science is probably one of the hardest classes in a student's middle school career. We ask them to synthesize new scientific information and to constantly question the world around them. We push them to ask the tough questions and not be satisfied with the simple answers. The seeds of this journey are planted early by you all in a child's life in those thousands of questions that young children love to ask. As teachers, we just cultivate that. We help them grow and hope that we can guide them in the right direction to find those answers they're searching for. The winner of this year's Team A Science Award participates regularly and supports and encourages success in those around her. She shows up every day ready to work and always with the most infectious smile from the moment she walks in. She's a rock star student in all of her classes, and one who I'm sure will one day be an amazing scientist. I have no doubt that she will keep asking the tough questions. I'm honored to present this year's Team A Science Award to Leila Atoui.
All right, this year's Social Studies Award winner for Team A has been a tremendous asset to his class. He asks insightful questions and contributes to class discussions with thoughtful ideas of his own. The student never just goes through the motions when completing work and is always engaged in adding to discourse in the class. He also makes class fun with his sense of humor without taking away from an atmosphere of learning. I'm very lucky to have had this year's Team A Social Studies Award winner in my class and really one of the most impressive students I've ever had, Dominic Tejada.
All right, everyone's doing great. We're almost there. Every moving on ceremony, the Galvin administration has the distinguished honor of presenting recognition awards that have been named after very special people who have had a connection to the Galvin Middle School. In order for a student to be a recipient of any of these awards, an 8th grader needs to be nominated by a Galvin staff member. After the nominations are collected, a small committee of Galvin staff members meet and discuss each nominee, sharing insight and perspective into the students. These awards have a special place in the traditions here at the Galvin, as this year's recipients will join a long list of past award winners, and their name will be etched on their respective plaques. This year, one student from Team A has been nominated and selected to be a recipient of one of our 4 special recognition awards. The Stephen J. Turner Award is named after a beloved member of the Galvin Middle School faculty. He worked with those students who faced significant challenges in their lives. Steve fiercely advocated for and never gave up on any of his students. He helped students overcome obstacles and grow into mature, poised, and resilient young people. To see the growth these students made from Steve's guidance was truly remarkable, and staff members were in awe of Steve's passion, selflessness, and compassionate nature. He was a mentor, a coach, a teacher, and a trusted adult to countless students. Steve lost his battle with cancer in March of 2001 at the age of 49. As a tribute to the lasting impact Steve made on the Galvin, the rock wall in our Galvin gym was proudly named after him. When we opened the new Galvin a few years ago, it's actually longer now, our staff did not rest until the rock wall sign came along with it. In fact, I think Mrs. Stevenson was there with the bulldozers yanking it out first. A testament to the impact Steve had on his colleagues. The Stephen J. Turner Award is given each year to a student who has demonstrated exceptional growth over the past 4 years, perseverance through challenges, personal academic achievement, and most importantly, leaving a positive impact on our school community. This year's recipient of the Turner Award is a student who has shown incredible growth over the course of their 4 years at the Galvin. Within the classroom, this student is an active participant in lesson discussions, and the student brings enthusiasm and overwhelming joy to any occasion. The student has an inspiring care for others and shows tremendous empathy for any student at the Galvin that looks like they could use an encouraging comment. Whether this student is draining three-pointers on the basketball court, performing in our chamber chorus, painting the corners of the strike zone on the baseball field, acting on stage in our theater productions, or just the simple and friendly act of opening the door for every person in the morning. This student takes pride in all they do and leaves others feeling valued. If we all could just take a fraction of the joy, the compassion, and friendly spirit that this student demonstrates on a daily basis, I am confident that the impact he would have on us and others would far extend the Galvin walls. I am honored to present this year's Stephen J. Turner Award to Colin Campbell.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right, we've reached the portion of our ceremony where it's now handing of the moving on certificates. During the presentation of the moving on certificates, we will read 10 student names at a time. Once a student's name is read, that student will stand at their seat. Once the last student's name is read, all 10 students will exit their row on their left, walk up and receive their certificate, and then line up to be congratulated by Mrs. Webb and Miss Bailey. We have practiced this, we promise. At this time, family members will have the opportunity to capture a photo of the honored students in front. After a few seconds, our students will make their way back to the seats, and we will begin recognizing the next 10 eighth graders. At the conclusion of our ceremony, we will dismiss our eighth graders one row at a time, and they will proceed out to the front of our building where parents and family members can meet up with them for pictures. We respectfully ask that everyone makes their way to the front of our building at the end of the ceremony so that we can prepare and set up for the next ceremony. We also humbly ask and implore, and every other word I can come up with, that the cheering and applause hold off until I read all the 10 students so that other families can hear their own child's name read. At that time, get the foam fingers and the hooplas and everything going, okay? 8th graders, are you ready? Someone said no. Well, it's happening. All right. Julie Alberuti, Zach Anquetil, Jacob Affelbaum, Jillian Akari, Layla Atui, Alexandra Baumhart, Jackson Beatty, Madison Bianchini, Melissa Braga, Luke Bray. All right. Jackson Burns, AJ Cadman, Daniel Cadman, Aaron Callahan, Colin Campbell, Lauren Sinelli, Alexander Colarusso, Felicity Corsell, Phoebe Corsell, Joseph Cavaluzzi. You're doing a great job. All right. Shane Cunha, Zachary Davidson, Stella DeAngelis, Shay Denning, Jake DeRoches, Ivan Diaz, Kaylin Deshawn, Marie Estrada, Musa Farah, John Fowley. Nice work. Layla Fraley, Tomash Guillen, Mandy Goss, Bryn Hart, Nicholas Healy, Matthew Horton, Jasmine Wong, Peyton Knowles, Haley Nupp. Go ahead, Layla. Ethan Crass, Ilias Lafraki, Jonathan Latarella, Patrick Leahy, Lisa Letchford, Jack Maxu, Scarlett Malone, Patrick Maloney. Oh, Weston McNeely. Sorry, Weston. Connor McPhail, Brandon Meal, Ella Medeiros, Daphne Mogan, Matthew Morris, Ryan Murphy, Lydia Northrup, Tyler Norton, Kiera O'Brien, Joseph O'Neill. Sana Ubihi, Eloa Panjanati, Edward Palmer, Skywayne Pasley, Bailey Quimby, Matthew Rabito, Guy Riva, Shane Riva, Lily Rexroad, Zachary Richardson. Connor Rozowski, Max Rush, Mia Russo, Michaela Sawyer, Christopher Sennett, Alexander Steventon, Dominic Tejada, Brady Thompson, Kiera Thompson, Wyatt Temus. Sabrina Valeri, Megan Van Dorp, David Vader, Jake Vaughn, Madison Walsh, Samantha Weber, Joshua Whitman, Caden Shue. Ladies and gentlemen, 8th grade students, we present Team A. The 8th grade moving on ceremony is now officially complete. Well done. At this time, they will exit their rows to the left, just like we practiced, and they will head out to the community entrance in the front of the school where you can take pictures and say hi to them and friends and neighbors. Well done, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.